Hello, welcome to our page. If you're seeing us on any of the platforms for the very first time, please don't make it your last. Now, on True Talk TV, we spend time discussing key issues that borders around our day-to-day activities, issues that we all have to talk about, like hard truth. So in today's episode, we will be discussing our thoughts on the issues that has to do with faith and work. Now, when we say faith, we mean religion. It is no news that a lot of people around the world, especially Nigerians and Africans, are very religious. Like that's fact. That we are very religious as a people. Nigerians are religious. Today's a Sunday, right? You go across your area, your vicinity, your environment, and literally everywhere is buzzing with Christian melodies and worship. You go around on Fridays and literally at a particular time, the whole roads are blocked because thousands of people are praying, right? So we are a religious people. But a lot of people still are displacing religion for work. There has to be a dichotomy between religion and work. So today's episode is to enlighten someone out there, let you know that where you should exercise your religion as a person, fine, thrive, do well in your religion, right? Because people would say that we are spiritual beings. We do not just appear in the world, right? There is a spirituality that is behind our existence, which boils down to religion. But then again, when we want to live our lives as humans, most of the time, we have to differentiate between this religion and work. So there's a popular saying that God will not do for man what man can do for himself. And that is where we are going to start today's discussion on. People out there, not everyone, but a lot of people still have this notion that when they pray, when they go to church, when they go to mosque, miracles happen to get them what they want. What's your thoughts on this? Like, what can you say for this category of people and how can they know better?
Okay, you see, more often than not, especially because we're very religious people, we try to look at success and prosperity, you know, from the lens of religion rather than from the lens of work, right? So what we are supposed to do with our hands, we don't do it. We now pray, right? You know, and more often than not, in countries like Nigeria, where you have a lot of churches, a lot of prayer houses and all of that, and the misperception within those prayer houses where people are told to pray their way into success or fast your way into success. So you see young people who have dreams and vision, rather than working out their dreams and their vision, they spend more time praying rather than spending the time working. You know, of course, I agree there's a place for faith, but there's also a place for work, like you have rightly said. If you do not do what you need to do, you do not go to school, you do not submit applications, you do not struggle to get a job, those things will not fall from heaven.
That's a practical example, right? Now, there are a lot of people who would rather keep their resumes in their houses, pray and fast for a job, and not have their CVs out there. So, for this category of people, how do you think that your success does not work like magic? Do you understand? Like, it doesn't just happen that somebody comes and knocks at your door, except in some kind of movies, right? And that's not reality, that's fiction. That somebody comes and say, oh, are you Mr. This company wants to hire you. But in reality, in real life, if you do not go out there, submit your CVs, your resumes, or apply to jobs, there is really no how that you can have your situation change. Absolutely. So if you sleep day in, day out, you cry, you pray, there's really anything you want to do that has to do with your faith, exercising your faith. You know, some people may even go as far as sowing seeds in church. You don't have, but from the little you have, you want to sow everything. Hence, you have not done what you should do. So how do you think that this can translate into success?
Okay, so you see, this is one of the importance of this, you know, of this conversation, that people need to be taught the difference between reality and the ideal, right? What is the ideal, but what is the reality? The reality is that to succeed, you must work. You know, even the Bible said in the book of Psalms that those who sow in tears will sing when they reap. So the act of sowing is the act of working, right? So how do you reap where you have not sown.
Sown.
And more often than not, people have a wrong impression about God. God is a just God, right? You need to work if you want God to bless your work or God to bless your effort. There must be some effort that you are presenting before God to bless. So all of this notion of prayer is good, but what have you done that your prayer need to work upon?
Exactly.
Right? You have not submitted an application, but you are expecting a response. How would that happen?
Another scenario would be for example, for somebody, a young lady or a young man, as the case may be, who is praying for a life partner, basically. And let's say, for example, for a young girl, you're always in the house, right? You're always indoors, you don't go out, you don't go to social gatherings, you don't go to places where people can find you. And then you keep praying, you keep sowing, you keep fasting for a life partner. How can you be seen when you are not available?
Well, I think that's going to be an exercise in futility, right? If you look at great women in the Bible who got married, they were also strategic about their marriage. The same thing happened to the case of Esther. She was strategic about her. Her mother-in-law was strategic about how she got into the house of Boaz, right? So you can't keep yourself indoors and expect to be married, because the person who should see you can't see you indoors, right? So there's always that rule. Again, I keep saying there's a place for work. In fact, if you have to do more, something, you need to do more of the work than even more of the prayers that you do. With all honesty, right? Life is about networking in terms of success, in terms of relationship, in terms of marriage, in terms of career progression. All of this requires human capital, right? Without human capital, you can't go anywhere. And so we must begin to de-emphasize, over praying, over
mentality.
That over praying mentality. Yes, prayer is good, fasting is good, but we're saying that all of this put together, without work, you will not achieve anything.
Yes.
You want
but
to
even the Bible says it that faith without work is dead.
Beautiful.
So that just summarizes everything you're saying.
Yes,
like faith without work is dead.
Absolutely.
So there is really nothing you can achieve as a person, as an old person, as a young person, that you can achieve outside work.
So you need to start doing the work, right? What is that dream? What are those dreams, those aspirations that you have? You need to begin to work them out. As you work them out, then you need to begin to pray about them.
Exactly. You get your results. Success. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. I think this is, this is just one way that we can remind someone out there. What we are doing on this TV basically is to remind people. It's possible you have this consciousness, you have this idea lying down somewhere, but it's dormant, right? You need somebody to charge you up. And that's what we are doing basically. So you might have known about this. It's not new to you. It's not news, but you may not have been working on it lately. And so here we are charging you up, be the best you can be, pray more, pray often. However, know that there is a very huge difference between praying and working. And then your ability to marry this together will get you to your desired end at the end of it. So thank you very much for staying by. If you watched up to this time, thank you. And please do not forget to give us a like, because it helps the algorithm to suggest it to other viewers who would also benefit from this video. Give us a like, give us a nice comment in the comment section, and feel free. Yes, come in.
Let's know what you think.
Yeah, exactly. Do you even agree? Do you even agree with us, or you feel that it's okay to pray, and continue praying? Because of course God is the ultimate, so we are wired to pray. These are your thoughts. Share it. Let's also learn from what you have to share. Of course, we all have our own POVs, so it's okay. All right. So we'll see you in the very next one. Do well to follow this page, subscribe to the channel, wherever platform you see this particular video. Do well to follow, like, share. Don't forget to share. Really important. And we'll see you in the very next one. Bye.
Bye.